Very few could have predicted it. But Ralf Schumacher has just caused a real storm in the world of Formula One, with his bombshell statements about Lewis Hamilton's future. In a completely unexpected moment, Ralf directly questioned whether Hamilton still has the genuine desire to continue competing, suggesting that retirement might be much closer than anyone dared to imagine. The way he addressed the issue, without hesitation or softening his words, left the entire paddock completely stunned. It was not just a random comment or a casual personal opinion. It was a brutally honest analysis from someone who deeply understands the immense pressure of constantly competing at the highest level of motorsport. For months, passionate fans and seasoned analysts have been debating the reasons behind Hamilton's struggles at Ferrari, trying to understand why he no longer seems to be the almost unbeatable force that once dominated Formula One for so many years. Now, with his words, Ralf Schumacher has delivered the most forceful and unsettling interpretation so far. According to him, Hamilton is not just frustrated with the results, but is losing the very passion that drove him to win 7 world championships. And if that passion truly disappears, if that inner fire extinguishes, retirement will not be a distant possibility, but an inevitable outcome. This changes everything. It completely alters the narrative surrounding Hamilton's move to Ferrari, reshapes expectations for the 2025 season, and raises a chilling question. Are we witnessing the final chapters of one of Formula One's greatest careers, not due to age or lack of talent, but because, as Ralf suggests, the emotional burden of frustration may be too heavy even for a legend? And what is even more impressive is the timing of all this. We are still at the early stages of the season, and intense rumors are already circulating about Hamilton's emotional state, his lack of motivation, and his apparent disconnection from the Ferrari car. Ralf's statements have not only reinforced these suspicions, but have amplified the whispers into a roaring outcry across the Formula One paddock. It cannot be ignored. What Ralf Schumacher said must not be taken lightly. When a figure of his stature in the sport speaks so incisively about the potential retirement of Hamilton, the entire motorsport community must pay close attention. If there is any truth in what Ralf pointed out, we may be very close to witnessing a monumental transformation, one that will not only impact Ferrari but the entire dynamics of Formula One. Stay with me in this video as we break down all the details about Ralf's revelations, analyze the real situation inside Ferrari, and understand why Lewis Hamilton's retirement might happen much sooner than anyone dares to admit. But before we dive deep into this electrifying topic, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notifications, because you definitely do not want to miss any updates on what promises to be one of the most unpredictable and thrilling seasons in modern Formula One history. In a sharply sincere interview, Ralf Schumacher did not hold back in stating that Lewis Hamilton might choose retirement if the situation at Ferrari does not drastically improve soon. Ralf was categorical in saying that Hamilton clearly cannot connect with the car, and that it is painfully obvious he is not enjoying his time on track anymore. At some point, according to Ralf, Hamilton might simply ask himself, "Why am I doing this to myself? I am not having fun anymore. Enough." These words hit hard, coming from someone who understands the brutal reality of Formula One like few others. Ralf Schumacher is not known for speaking recklessly, and when he expresses himself with such clarity and forcefulness, everyone in the paddock stops to listen. Despite the enormous hype generated by Hamilton's sensational move to Ferrari, the reality of 2025 has been harsh. So far, Hamilton has not managed to make the expected impact. His best result has been a modest 5th place, and to make matters worse, he was disqualified after winning the sprint race at the Chinese Grand Prix. In the main races, his performances have been deeply disappointing, culminating in a 7th-place finish at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, where he ended up more than 30 seconds behind his teammate Charles Leclerc, who secured Ferrari's first podium of the season. The performance gap between Hamilton and Leclerc has been glaring and undeniable. The illusion that Hamilton's vast experience would quickly overcome Ferrari's technical challenges is fading fast. This year's car is temperamental, with an extremely narrow operational window, requiring absolute perfection in setup and adaptation to the driving style. This kind of learning curve usually takes years within a team. For Hamilton, everything feels unstable, strange, and uncomfortable. Insider reports reveal that Hamilton's frustration is becoming more and more evident behind the scenes. He joined Ferrari dreaming of reviving his glory days, leading the Scuderia back to the top, and further cementing his legendary status. However, he is struggling just to stay in the top 5, often battling with midfield drivers who would have been easy prey in the past. And for a champion of his caliber, being treated like just another driver is simply unacceptable. Thus, the inevitable question arises: could Hamilton really leave Formula One earlier than expected? His contract with Ferrari reportedly runs until the end of 2026. But as everyone knows, contracts in Formula One are notoriously fragile. If Hamilton reaches an emotional breaking point, if the joy and motivation vanish completely, no contract will be able to keep him on the grid. The psychological toll might be even greater than the physical one. For the first time, Hamilton is facing a reality where his immense talent and experience alone are not enough to overcome the obstacles. For a driver who has always thrived on instinct and an intimate connection with his car, the current feeling of alienation must be devastating. Ralf Schumacher is absolutely right to highlight this. When a driver of Hamilton's caliber stops feeling the pure joy of driving, it is not just a bad phase, it is a warning sign of a much deeper crisis. Ferrari's team principal, Fred Vasseur, has been emphatic in defending Hamilton from the mounting criticism, attributing the early struggles to the natural adjustment period. He believes that Hamilton and the team are still getting to know each other, and that better results will eventually come. However, in the ruthless world of Formula One, time is a luxury few can afford. The Ferrari fans, the Tifosi, are renowned for their passionate loyalty, but also for their relentless demand. If results do not start improving soon, the pressure on Hamilton will become unbearable. Each failure, each unfavorable comparison to Leclerc, will erode his morale and confidence even further. Should Ralf Schumacher's prediction materialize, the sport might be on the verge of losing one of its biggest icons prematurely. Imagine the impact if Lewis Hamilton were to announce his retirement at the end of 2025 or even earlier. It would send shockwaves not only through Ferrari, but through the entire world of motorsport. The partnership that was expected to be a glorious final chapter in Hamilton's career could end abruptly and bitterly. The upcoming races will be absolutely crucial in defining the direction of his career. Starting with the Miami Grand Prix, every practice, every qualifying session, and every race will represent a vital opportunity. Hamilton can no longer afford to show only occasional flashes of brilliance. He must demonstrate real and sustained progress. Closing the gap to Leclerc is no longer optional. It has become an absolute necessity. Every lap, every strategic decision could make the difference between reigniting his career or quietly closing one of the most brilliant eras Formula One has ever seen. He must rebuild his bond with the car, rediscover that raw instinct and unwavering confidence that once set him apart. It is not just about driving fast, it is about reconnecting with the very essence of what made him a champion. If Hamilton continues to show signs of frustration and disconnection, Ralf Schumacher's warning might become reality much sooner than anyone would like to admit. And if that happens, it will mark one of the most emblematic turning points in modern Formula One history, witnessing the exit of a giant not by choice, but by the harsh and unforgiving nature of the sport. Now I want to hear your honest opinion. What do you believe is really going through Lewis Hamilton's mind at this decisive moment? Are we merely witnessing a difficult phase that he will overcome with the resilience he has shown so many times? Or are we seeing the beginning of the end of one of the brightest careers in motorsport history? Do you believe Ferrari can still give Hamilton a competitive car in time? Or will growing frustration and missed opportunities bring an early end to what was supposed to be a dream partnership? Leave your opinion in the comments, because this feels like one of those moments that go beyond a simple racing season. It feels like history is being written before our very eyes. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most dramatic moments of the season, do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and activate the notifications to follow all the major stories that are shaping the new era of Formula One.